After finishing our 6-night, 7-day trip in Izu, we arrived at Shimbashi Station in Tokyo from Atami Station. From there, we transferred to the Tokyo Metro Ginza line and arrived at Akasaka Mitsuku Station, where our accommodation in Tokyo was located. Since we had some time before check-in, we looked for a place to get a haircut as soon as we arrived at the station. We found a barber shop called QB House, where my husband and son got their haircuts. For just 1,400 yen, an almost unbelievably low price, they were able to get a simple, clean cut. Although it's not done by a stylist, the haircut was neat and efficient. We relaxed at a nearby Starbucks until it was time to check in. In Japan, a typical Starbucks coffee costs around 500 yen, but with the favorable exchange rate, it came out to about $3. Traveling in Japan has become surprisingly affordable. For our stay in Tokyo, I booked a place called Creazione Akasaka through Airbnb. It was just a 5-minute walk from the Starbucks. The property seemed to be managed by a company, and they kindly explained the check-in process in detail. It felt like a secure, well-maintained condo building. The unit had 1 bedroom, a kitchen, and even a washing machine, which made it very convenient. We were very satisfied with the stay. The cost was $322 for 2 nights. On our first day in Tokyo, I was still recovering from a cold I caught during our trip in the Izu region, so we didn't go far. After checking into our accommodation, we had a simple dinner at a place just a 6-minute walk away. It was a Korean-style Chinese restaurant called Hong Kong Banjam, where we enjoyed a warm, spicy soup, just what I needed to feel a little better. It had been a while since we had Korean-style Chinese food, so it felt comforting and familiar. The spicy jampong broth was especially soothing and helped with my cold symptoms. We really enjoyed the meal. Before returning to the accommodation, I stopped by a pharmacy to buy some cold medicine. After that, we called it a day early and took some rest. The next day, I decided to rest at the accommodation due to my cold symptoms. I took some medicine and had a simple meal of rice porridge and a sandwich that we had bought from the supermarket, then tried to get some sleep. That day, my husband and son went to Sensoji Temple together, as I had recommended. I told them how to take the subway from Akasaka, and they went by themselves and brought back some photos like this. Asakusa is, as always, bustling with people. After visiting Sensoji, my husband and son went to the Maid Cafe at-home cafe Akihabara Main. It's a Japanese-style cafe for otaku culture. Since it was my son's first time, he seemed curious and wanted to go. However, my husband and son don't speak Japanese well, so they had some trouble communicating with the staff and felt a bit confused. They both returned to the accommodation, and as I had regained some strength, we went out together for dinner in the evening. We took the subway and went to Shinjuku. My husband insisted we try Kobe beef, so I took him to Yakiniku Motoyama Shinjuku. They had a course menu for about 6,000 yen per person. The Kobe beef was served in yakiniku style, and it was really rich and tender. This rich Kobe beef was tender but so buttery and fatty that I actually found it a bit too heavy, as I prefer something lighter and less greasy. My husband loved it. The seasoned vegetables and kimchi were really delicious. After dinner, we took the subway again and went to Shibuya Station. I had been to Shibuya many times, but it was the first time for my husband and son, so they really enjoyed the bright and lively atmosphere at night. We crossed the famous Shibuya Scramble Crossing. Since my son likes Nintendo characters, we walked to Shibuya Parko. The night streets of Shibuya were lively and had a great atmosphere. Shibuya Parko has many cute characters, making it a great place to explore and enjoy. The next day, we checked out of Crazy on Akasaka. We simply had to leave the key in the mailbox, and walked about 20 minutes to the Ritz-Carlton Tokyo. We had originally planned to take a taxi, but in Japan, walking 10 to 20 minutes is no problem at all. Since it was not yet check-in time, we gave our name to the staff on the first floor and left our luggage. Then, using the nearest subway station, Roppongi Station, we headed to Ginza for lunch. We took the Hibiya line from Roppongi Station, and after a 17-minute ride, we arrived at Ginza Station. From there, we walked to Sushi no Midori, where we had a reservation at 11 a.m. Sushi no Midori, Ginza branch, is a well-known sushi chain, and this particular location is especially famous. It was difficult to get a reservation, but luckily, a spot suddenly opened up for 11 a.m. on their website, and I managed to book it just in time. To make a reservation here, you must choose your menu in advance and pay at the time of booking. When we arrived at 11 a.m. there were already people who had reservations lining up at the entrance, and a separate line for walk-ins had also formed. Despite its popularity, the reservation system was well organized, and even those waiting in line were guided efficiently. The whole operation was smooth and systematic. The appetizer was also incredibly delicious. The three of us all ordered the seasonal chef's omakase nigiri for 4,180 yen, and it was beautifully presented and looked amazing. The only downside was that the sushi rice, sherry, was a bit cold, but we still enjoyed each piece with its fresh ingredients. Being able to eat this quality of sushi for around 4,000 yen seems to be a big reason for the restaurant's popularity. Even my son, who really loves sushi, said it was delicious. The price even included an ice cream dessert. It's rare to find an opportunity to enjoy sushi like this in Tokyo at such an affordable price. After having sushi, we walked about 7 minutes to the Ginza Uniqlo store for some shopping. The Uniqlo in Ginza is the largest, making it a great place to shop. If you spend over 5,000 yen, you can get tax-free shopping, so make sure to take advantage of that. At Uniqlo, I usually buy items like t-shirts, white shirts, jacket, and lightweight down jackets. From Ginza, we took the Hibiya line and got off at Roppongi Station to return to the hotel. The Ritz-Carlton Tokyo occupies the top 9 floors and lower 3 floors of the Tokyo Midtown Tower, with guest rooms located between the 47th and 51st floors. Although we had left our bags at the first floor earlier, we were told they were already delivered to our room. To check in, you simply take the elevator up to the front desk on the 45th floor. When we arrived on the 45th floor, we were greeted by a stunning lobby with a beautiful view. While waiting to check in, I sat briefly at a table. The facilities were clean and well maintained. The room and bathroom were very spacious, with luxurious and high-quality facilities. Above all, the city view from the high floor was truly breathtaking. I spent a long time admiring the view. The snacks prepared by the hotel were delicious. I really love Beard Papa's cream puffs. When we went to Ginza, I bought 6 from the Ginza store, and they were so delicious that the 3 of us finished them all in the hotel room in no time. As evening came, we went out to have dinner near the hotel. The night view around the hotel was really beautiful. The lively and bright atmosphere of Roppongi was very enjoyable. We're not a big fan of regular ramen, but I thought we should try tsukemen, so we went into a nearby place called Munsho Taketora. This place had a bit of a creative twist on traditional ramen. Both the ramen and tsukemen were pretty good. However, the flavors were a bit on the salty side, and once again we realized that we're not particularly big fans of ramen. Still, it was a very friendly restaurant with a nice atmosphere. Right next to the ramen place was Don Quixote Roppongi, so we stopped by for a quick look before heading back to the hotel. From there, we could also see the Tokyo Tower lit up beautifully in the distance. When we returned to our hotel room, another breathtaking night view was waiting for us. I gazed at the stunning night view for a long while. After a restful night's sleep, we were able to watch the sunrise from our room the next morning. It was beautiful. Since we didn't need to head to the airport until later in the afternoon, we had requested a late checkout from the hotel. We initially planned to have lunch at the famous tonkatsu restaurant Imakatsu Roppongi, but the line was too long, so we gave up. Instead, we went into Haradabokujo Tokyo Midtown 10, a restaurant located right inside the Tokyo Midtown Plaza, just in front of the hotel. Each tonkatsu dish was neatly presented, and the meat was delicious. Tokyo Midtown Plaza, right in front of the hotel, was very convenient with many places to explore and shop, including a supermarket, restaurants, and bakeries. There's also a Uniqlo inside. Lastly, we stopped by Don Quixote Roppongi for some shopping. I always buy a lot of Japanese cosmetics and facial cleansers there. In the late afternoon, after checking out, we took the Oiwaido line from Roppongi Station to Daimon Station. Be careful to find the separate ticket machines for the Oiwaido line. From Daimon Station, we took the Kikyo line to Haneda Airport. It took about 50 minutes and cost only around 550 yen. That's why Haneda Airport is so convenient when traveling to Tokyo. At Haneda Airport, we relaxed and had a light meal at the TIAT lounge while waiting for our flight. We flew with Air Canada for about 12 hours and arrived at Toronto Airport. We stopped by the Plaza Premium Lounge there for a short break. It took about 1 hour and 30 minutes to get back to Washington, D.C. After the long trip and flight, adjusting to the time difference and recovering our condition wasn't easy, but it was truly a memorable journey. In Tokyo, we stayed 2 nights at an Airbnb and 1 night at the Ritz-Carlton, and both accommodations were very satisfying. Akasaka and Roppongi are great neighborhoods in Tokyo, so I chose to stay there. Just walking around and enjoying food nearby offered plenty to do. I always feel that location is really important for accommodation. For my son, we visited places like Shibuya, Asakusa, and Shinjuku, areas he would enjoy. No matter the neighborhood or station, Tokyo is full of delicious restaurants and endless options, which is why I always love this city. Spending a long time exploring Tokyo's food scene would be wonderful. There are so many things to see and do that I'm already looking forward to which area we'll explore next time.